I finally got rid of the neighbor, and now it's a happy day. I mean, no one's pounding above my head. It's almost like there should be someone pounding above my head. It's almost like I miss someone pounding above my head. The guy upstairs is gone, who I've had to close my doors for, stop doing podcasts about. It's happened. He's gone. Like a good neighbor, he left. I had a couple ideas. I was thinking of inventions. And I was thinking of a handkerchief that's always kind of cool, an always cold handkerchief or tissue. How do you do that? I don't know. Not carrying a bunch of wet naps around, but I want a frozen, almost frozen tissue that you could wipe your face with and keep yourself cool. Um, I think that can happen. Second idea. This isn't so much an invention as it is a prudent fantasy. I see that they're letting people out of jail because of the COVID. I think it's ridiculous to keep all the worst members of society in different houses around the world, saving them. I think if you're in jail past 10 years, you probably shouldn't be let out because 10 years. So, really, here's the thing. You want to get rid of prisoners? They didn't have enough room during these riots. So they were arresting people, letting them back out on the streets. They were letting people with crime records back out. Well, here's what needs to happen. Okay, you're fighting a war over in the. I think they're still fighting. Who even knows if there's a war going on in Afghanistan anymore? You're fighting a war in the Middle East. Ammunition costs money, guns, all that stuff. But not if you use rapists. If you get all the worst dregs of society. I don't mean some guy who, with a kid who didn't do something wrong. I mean, obviously I don't mean him. I mean, the drudges, the rapists, the child molesters, the worst of the worst. You take jumbo jets. It's almost like if you've ever seen the subway in China. It's how people go to work. There's so many people jammed into each car. There's actually workers that will push with pool cues to get people in, to get every last person in. They prod at them. So I'm taking the same concept as the Chinese railroad and applying it to bombing rapists. Here's what I mean. So you take the worst out of the prisons and you get jumbo jets that only need two pilots. No, there's no crew. You just fill the jumbo jets, and they have to be jumbo jets where the bottoms can open up. I'm sure the Army can make these. The Army have a lot of good... Army Corps of Engineers, they make things, right? Army, it's not just fighting, they also invent. So my point is, you take 3 jumbo jets and you pack them to the gills with rapists. Pack them to the gills with the worst murderers and people. So now instead of ammunition, all you have to do is a nice flight. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be taking our, 9-hour flight to Bora Bora. Is that in the Middle East? I don't know. And when we get there, we'll let you know. We'll begin our descension, and the floor opens up. I don't even know why I'm going on to all this stuff. It's because I'm just thinking of the idea today. The floor of the jumbo jets open up once you're above Afghanistan or Iraq or Bora Bora, and then all the rapists just fall out. Think about this. Think about it this way. I know that sounds ridiculous, and I'm being long-winded. Think about this. Bin Laden's compound in Abbottabad. It took 2 Black Hawk copters and 6 Navy SEALs. One SEAL Team 6. One of the Black Hawk copters malfunctioned and crashed. Everyone was at risk. Now you have to maneuver through a compound that is probably heavily armed and rigged, and to find the worst man on the planet. It seems like there's a lot of risk involved with losing good American lives or the SEAL lives. Now think about this: you dropped 2 jumbo jets full of rapists. I mean, you could probably fit 500 rapists per jet. So now you dropped 1,000 rapists from the sky onto a Abbottabad. Now, you've just onto the compound. Now, you can go look for Bin Laden underneath 1,000 rape corpses. You don't even have to be that careful. Odds are it killed him. Now you just have to identify Bin Laden. So we got rid of the worst dregs of our society in one fell swoop with no capital punishment, people that can never be rehabilitated, people that are only going to be repeat offenders. You've gotten rid of them, and now I could find a bin Laden after 1,000 rapists have been dropped on the compound. You just imagine. Everyone in the compound probably gets killed unless they're crushed under something. You see what I'm saying? I got another one, too, another death penalty. Dynamite chair. This one's more fun. You get a stadium, the biggest stadium in the world, and you put all of the worst members of society in the stadium. You have them sit in separate seats with their legs and their arms attached to the chair, so they're stuck there. I guess they'll have to be fed during this time, so someone will have to come by and feed them. But you get the worst of the worst. I'm talking an enormous stadium, like 200,000 rapists, 200,000 pedophiles, and it's dynamite chair. Every day at noon and every day at midnight, one of the chairs explodes. And that's the dynamite chair. People could bet on it. You could bet on which section will explode, bet on which side of the stadium. You could even have a few random explosions, like maybe midnight's too late, so 12 and 8 p.m., and then another 12 p.m. I just think I would be watching. And I think that's a great sentence for the criminals because they are living in constant fear. You're not living in constant fear playing pinochle. If you're playing pinochle and can watch Jimmy Fallon, that's too good for a lot of these people. So, stuff them in these jets. The airlines aren't even running anyway. I mean, barely. Use the jets to fill with rapists and help the cause. See, if I would have been a great Rosie the Riveter. What did she do? Like, all the men's scraps that they left after they ate dinner, didn't she, like, put them all the scraps together and put them in bread and made sandwiches out of all the food that fell out of their mouth or something like that? I thought she did that. This is an even better thing. We don't need to fight with humans or robots. We just need the dregs of society, and we need to get the people that are on death row forever, and we know that they're guilty, and we need to drop them from 35,000 feet onto a compound in the worst part of the Middle East. You say no, Steve. Well, why? You tell me why. Why not take? I can find anybody. Let's just find some slave master. Are there any slave masters still alive? There's still Nazis alive, but there's no slave masters. That's a ridiculous question. Okay, Steve, you're punching out. I'm punching myself out. And the last invention is something everyone can use. Try Steve's new miracle salve, guaranteed to clear up those crow's feet and cure prickly-ish. Steve's miracle salve. I just told you what it's for. Shut up, Steve. And now use Steve's new miracle salve to enjoy your favorite rock troupe, lethargy band, or poetry group. Steve's new miracle salve. Call 555-5555 to enjoy your favorite rock troupe, lethargy band, or poetry group.